Hello and welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy Heroes video. Today we're going to be looking through Bo-Katan Manda'lor's kit, and before we even really get into it, let's talk about the elephant in the room. They rushed this kit out the door so fast that they didn't put all of her tags in. It just says light side, even though she's Mandalorian. Who knows if she's going to be attack, support, or what. But yeah, that's pretty impressive that you guys were that Johnny on the spot to mess that up, but good job, CG. It's Tuesday. Come on now. I'm not gonna read through the inspirations. You know what the inspirations are. She's Bo-Katan from season 3 of The Mandalorian. You know. Apparently, strategy tips for maximum damage. Mod her slower than Beskar Mando, which seems kind of counterintuitive, but also, apparently, if you bring her against debuff-heavy teams, it'll be the fastest way to gain Ancestral Resolve, which is something she provides for the team. Now, Frontal Assault is the basic. It's not a Zetaed one, shockingly, because, yeah. You deal physical and true damage to the target enemy, which can't be evaded, and it spells all buffs on them, and whenever it's Bo's turn, all light-side Mandalorian allies gain speed up for 2 turns. So, nothing too over the top, but there is something people have been pointing out is the fact that the dark saber looks a little large in her hand. I don't know if it's the way they're showing the they did the recording for these attacks and all or what, but it looks really comically large. Like if you look at Moff Gideon, Sabine's handling of the Darksaber, it doesn't look anything like hers. She's holding it like a great sword, not like a lightsaber that is be able to held in one hand. I know Pre-Vizsla did that in the Clone Wars whenever he was wielding it, but it just looks weird. Up next, we got Darksaber Flourish, which says 3 turn cooldown and a Zeta. You deal physical damage to the target enemy and inflict armor shred until the end of the battle. Also, you'll be dealing an additional instance of true damage to the target enemy, which cannot be evaded, and stunning them for a turn. So that's pretty nifty. A stun, armor shred, and extra damage. If she is debuffed, you deal true damage an additional time, which cannot be evaded either. And otherwise, you reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1. So basically, if she's debuffed, she'll be dealing 1 thing of physical damage and 2 things of true damage. If she isn't debuffed, then it'll just be the physical damage, the true damage, and then she'll be reducing the cooldown of that by 1. So if she's being cleansed constantly, that could mean she can be spamming this quite a bit actually, which is kind of a terrifying thought depending on how much damage she has base and all that. Her second special is Reinforcements Have Arrived. It has 4 cooldowns and a Zeta and Omicron, obviously. So what it does is you deal physical damage to the target enemy. You dispel all debuffs on the light side Mandalorian allies. You call them an assist twice, which deals 50% less damage. Probably both times. I don't know. And they gain 3 stacks of Ancestral Resolve, which maxes out at 100 until the end of the encounter, and they cannot be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Now what Ancestral Resolve does is you gain 2% defense and max health. And whenever this character deals true damage, you deal additional true damage based on the number of stacks which cannot be evaded. So I don't think it's going to be like a percentage amount of damage. It's going to be like flat damage kind of thing. Because I think that's what true damage is, isn't it? So basically, it'll be whenever they first start off, they'll get 3 stacks of Ancestral Resolve, and then that'll be 3 extra stacks of 3 extra things of true damage, like instances of it. So I don't know, I don't know why CG keeps doing this, but I wish they'd put the leader above the unique, because that's the way it's going to be in the game. Why put the unique first and not the leadership? Whatever. So, here comes the rest of the Omicrons for this. Way of the Mandalore is their leadership with a Zeta Omicron. The text says, all light side Mandalorian allies gain 40% defense, max health, and offense, so that's pretty meaty. Light side Mandalorian allies gain 5% stacking to 30% for each debuff on them, so that's, again, they're going to be very durable. Whenever a light side Mandalorian ally deals true damage, it dispels a debuff or resists a debuff, sorry. So basically, whenever they dispel a debuff or resist a debuff, they're gaining another stack of Ancestral Resolve. Also, whenever they deal true damage, so they'll be constantly gaining Ancestral Resolve. And whenever an ally attacks an enemy inflicted with Armor Shred, which if you're spamming Darksaber Flourish on all the enemies, then that'll be kind of constant. You will be all light side, not you will be all of the light side Mandalorian tank allies gain taunt per turn, which will be Paz Vizsla. Now, while in GAC, this is the Omni. Well, just Grand Arenas as a whole. It's not one or the other. She'll be good in both. Light side Mandalorian allies gain 50% mastery and max health, so that's pretty meaty right there. And an additional flat 30 speed. At the start of each encounter, light side Mandalorian tank allies gain taunt for 2 turns, so Paz will be basically stuck perma-taunting, which is fine because once we get to the unique, you'll see why. If there are other active enemies excluding summons, the first time a light side Mandalorian ally is defeated, each battle is revived and recovers 50% health and protection. That's really worded weird. I should say the first time a light side Mandalorian ally is defeated, they're revived and recovered. It's so weirdly worded. Anyways, you gain an additional stack of Lights of Ancestral Resolve whenever a Mandalorian ally deals true damage. The same thing as where was it? Earlier on in the text. So basically, in GAC, they will have an additional stack of Ancestral Resolve coming whenever they deal true damage, dispel a debuff, or resist a debuff. Now, loading back up the page a little bit to the unique for Mandalore. So it's not a Zeta Omicron, it's just an Omicron, which is really weird. True damage that Bo-Katan deals from Ancestral Resolve is tripled. This damage is then doubled against enemies with bonus protection. So apparently her true damage will be a lot higher. If all allies are light side Mandalorian at the start of battle, she takes reduced damage from percent health damage effects and recovers 50% health whenever an ally is defeated first time, excluding summoned allies. So basically, it's similar to what Malgus and a whole bunch of other people have, obviously. She gains 50% defense, maxing out at 200% for each debuff on her. And this is important, and an additional 200% defense stacking for each light side Mandalorian ally who has not been defeated. So, to start off the battle, she'll have a ridiculous 800% extra defense for no one who's dead. I can imagine this is going to be quite the defensive, strong powerhouse. So, this is just the unique, like the base unique. This isn't even for the Ami. So with the Ami, while in GAC, she is immune to daze. And if all allies were light side Mandalorian at the start of the battle, she can ignore taunt effects. And whenever an ally is defeated for the first time, she gains 20% of their max health and offense stacking until the end of the battle. So basically, it's like a weird variation of like siphoning off their stats. But I mean, basically, the longer the fight goes, and if she's the last one standing, the harder she's going to hit and the more health she's going to have. But she's also going to be losing all that extra defense from having everyone alive. So, you know, it's kind of a two-pronged approach kind of thing here. Like, what do you want to do? Also, if we can get this page updated so we can know what her tags are and why are you suggesting her to be slower than Bam, you know, that'd be great. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this kit reveal. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really sure how to feel about this because this is supposed to be an epic confrontation character. But it just feels like she feels like a conquest character that was put into the epic confrontation tagging. And yeah, I mean, we have 3 Amis, 2 Zetas. It's a very weird kit. Also, can we please fix the Darksaber for her? It looks weird. I understand she even held it one-handed in like the show and everything else. She didn't just run around with it like a great sword kind of thing. Can you fix that, CG, for the love of God? But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this. Hopefully y'all enjoyed my ramblings of a madman. I'm trying to figure out how to feel about this. And yeah. If y'all enjoyed, don't forget to hit like and hit subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. I hope you have a good rest of your day.